So, with the recent chapter now coming out, we have some more tidbits and information to reveal about who exactly is the mother to Lucade Dragneel. And finally, we can confirm about this with this chapter that what it's going to be doing is, in fact, Mavis the Million is in fact the mother of Lucade Dragneel. Now people were saying like, how does that actually exactly make sense? How does the timeline fit up? Like when the two actually even bang, all we saw was a kiss and then supposedly Mavis dying and being put into the actual like spirit that was containing her for all these years. Now the biggest question all that is exactly how this information came about is there is a spoiler that's apparently, but what we get to see with Jalal and August during their fight, we get to see them talking actually about him himself, Lucade Dragneel, and they're talking about the only person there that is able to beat this man is actually his own mother. And then during the scene, they actually turn back and like show like a background shot, and it shows Mavis behind there, clearly hinting the fact that that's where their relation lies, and also showing who exactly is going to be fighting this person out of everyone. That's a very interesting fact that out of everyone that's going to be fighting a character, it's going to be Mavis. Mavis is not exactly a character that's built to be a fighter. She's more like strategy. Like entire the magic is like based upon like illusions, and it's going to be very interesting. Like how exactly in fact was he created in the first place? Was he created like Natsu? Was it just like did he use like a dead body or someone like to actually produce him, or was it the fact that he actually used the DNA of both Mavis and alongside Zara to produce a child? Did he perhaps, like, during that time, like, try to revive her in some way? It was like, no, this is going to be her living legacy. Let's get someone that, you know, like, Mavis to be proud of in her own, like, twisted way. I feel like this is what happened with Zareth. Zareth is clearly, like, mentally unstable. He's not able to think properly, and I think this is the own way where it's like, I'm going to leave a legacy. Even if I die and all that, it's like, this is what people want. People maybe want this guy. Like, I feel like, out of everything, like, maybe Zareth thought about everything in his own way, where it's like, maybe something can kill me. Maybe something can, like, destroy me, and if that's the case, well, in fact, I got someone to actually leave, you know, like, the kingdom to. I'm gonna leave it exactly to, like, maybe Lucade is gonna take over. I kind of find that interesting, like, maybe he did think that, since, like, so many times we've seen, like, Zara flip-flop between, like, I'm gonna destroy all of humanity, no, I want to kill myself, I want to save humanity, and I feel like this is maybe his failsafe, and maybe, like, showing, like, the actual light and the purity, and I think this is, like, his own way of showing this is the purity of Mavis, like, something that was, like, you know, even in death, she can get something, you know, happy to people. And I'm very curious more of exactly how the fight's going to be between Mavis and Lucade, because we've already seen like no physical force from what we've seen from like a character like Kagura can really work around. So maybe the fact that Mavis is going to have to use her head, she's going to have to trick them, and that was the biggest question for the longest. Is like, out of everyone, who is going to fight this guy? Because we've already got Urza dealing with Irene. August, we clearly saw on like Guild Arts' parallels to even deal with that. Natsu is out of commission right now. Even the same thing with Gray. Gray is out of commission as well. They're all like completely exhausted after the E&D fight when he was in his Ice Devil Slayer mode. Lucy can clearly, like from what we've seen, like, not fighting that level. It's like clearly like one of the strongest females in the series, like Kagura, and like we've seen like the most powerful ones out, like the females is like Kagura, Minerva, alongside with Urza. If they're currently out of condition and Kagura couldn't do anything, then clearly like out of all the options that we've got left, it's looking pretty thin. And one of the characters that none of us ever expected it was to be Mavis the Million. I think definitely a lot of Zervis like fans, like people who love Zareth and Mavis together, absolutely love the fact that there is a child between them, and like generally, yeah, I don't think the fact that, you know, Zareth did the deed, we only saw that kiss, but I generally think the fact that he did in fact take the DNA of like Mavis after like that she died, like trying some way to like save her or live something in her memory, and then she just generally took that DNA and just made something and made a chart. And that's gonna be interesting. How exactly is someone like Mavis gonna take care of someone like on this power level? Is she gonna have to use like one of the most like forbidden fairy spells? Is she gonna have to show some of the like insane magic she learned throughout the years? Like maybe she does know something like Fairy Sphere, Glitter, like maybe she does know something on this level. Like is she gonna have to do a sacrificial thing like what we saw with Makarov? Are we gonna see like fairy lore somewhere in this way? Like I generally think it's gonna involve a lot of trickery on her end with using the whole like trickery that she has with her illusion magic. So I want to see that. I genuinely want to do it, and I think like this would be a great time to give Mavis something, since a lot of the time she's kind of felt like a trapped princess throughout the entire this, where it's like, no, I need everyone else to kind of deal things for me. And I feel like this is going to be her own way after everything that happened with Makarov, where it's just like, you know, these are my kids, these are my son, and it's like now like, you know, Mavis is going to step up and actually, you know, step into the fight herself and protect someone. And even with the person that she has to deal with, it's probably going to be one of the more tricky opponents she's ever had to go against, because of the fact of like emotionally that's your son that you're going to be fighting there. And then as well, like, she's not the most, like, you know, adept, like, fighter. Her whole thing is trickery, strategy, and it's like, this is going to be a very interesting battle for Mavis if she does get into this fight. And I am very curious to see what other people are going to be start thinking about this, and whether or not we're going to be getting this fight very soon. We've seen Therizel kind of go skim around, kind of get a few fights. We've been seeing like a little bit of the side with Jalal and August. We've been seeing a bit of Eileen, and I'm wondering if this fight is going to go down, if that we're going to see this. And I generally think that with like the backstory that we've got, I generally believe this is the sort of situation now. I think like this is pretty much true. I don't think like people would really like make up too much lies about it. I think like kind of Ryan's been on the wall with like the blonde hair, the whole holiness and purity of like kind of like what we've seen of Lakade Dragneel. It's like the mainly fact that he was this was what he was going off for like Mavis, and I generally want to see more of this character. And it's thinking like, is this like, what exactly was Zara thinking during this whole time? Like, was it just generally he wanted her pieces like Mavis to stay in his heart? Was this like the closest thing? Was this like the only like person actually that he could really open up to because he thought this was Mavis deep down? Like, I really want to see, because I honestly, it just shows the signs of just a very fragile character that's just like very just sensitive about the whole world. It's just like, I feel like this guy would be there for like Zarek, like when he just finally returns, and he's not like this monster warmonger, and it's just like, no, this is just a guy that has just had his life just torn upside down after losing his brother. He tried to save his brother, then as well he tried to save like the one person that he loved, and then as well trying to make a memento out of it. Like Zarek feels like anything that he just touched and all that just turns into dust, and I think this is like maybe the one thing in his character that he actually generally tries to keep hold of, and want to see like if this is like a failed experiment gone wrong, or if this maybe there might be some resolution to like actually the character, because it's going to be interesting like if this character is being, how exactly is Zerth going to act? Is he going to act like he just doesn't care? Is there going to be a bit of like, is he just going to cry when he just sees him and he's just like, oh my god, my son? Like, because like from what we've seen so far, the information between these two, it's just been like, it's been more like soldier and commander. It hasn't been like like father and son at all with these two. So there's a lot to go on there, and generally the fact that this is going to be some very exciting stuff, whether or not all of this is going to be in the next chapter of Fairy Tail, or we're just going to be hinting some things in what to come. I am excited. I've been loving Fairy Tail recently. There's just so much good content coming out on there, and the fact that these three people right now, these three Spriggans, could definitely redeem a lot of what we've been having with the other Spriggans. I'm very much looking forward to Eileen. I'm looking forward to August, and especially the White Dragneel himself is now going to be entering the stage, and with like this power that he has, like controlling over like people's like darkest desire, like, you know, the whole giving them pleasure before they die, and the fact that he's actually related to like Mavis as well, and this is the kid that like maybe like a lot of people in Chip has always thought of them. It's now going to be exciting in Fairy Tail. I'm very curious to see what you guys think in the comment section down below. That is all from me. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys though next time.